it's Becky, and guess what came today? It is the Firecracker Tween Box from Gemstone Orphanage. And Gemstone Orphanage is a bi-monthly subscription box, and the Tween Box is not part of the subscription, and it's just a box that they curate and release between the bi-monthly subscriptions. And because it's not part of the subscription, you don't have to be a subscriber in order to purchase it. Now, they are limited in amount. I'm pretty sure that it is sold out already. They did one in, I think it was October last year, and they did another one here for May. And it is basically just celebrating the U.S. patriotic holidays that we have here in the in the summertime. We've got Memorial Day is happening this weekend. I have Monday off, so I'm going to be home and doing stuff with family. And so we've got Memorial Day off, and then there's Flag Day, and then there's the 4th of July, which is in the US, we celebrate the Independence Day that day. So there's several different things that we can celebrate. We could celebrate Bastille Day in July as well if we wanted to. I just remember that because my brother's birthday is on Bastille Day. So, but you know, it's red, white, and blue. So you can do that. So usually what we get in the Gemstone Orphanage box is going to be a pendant, a gemstone pendant that you adopt and that you can call your own. And then they will also curate a box full of beads to go with it to dress up your pendant. And so that's what we've got. All of this right here. We've got our dress up bag. And they did a preview on their channel, so I don't think I'm spoiling anybody. There's also, just posted today, Steve did a tutorial for some wire wrapped earrings and a pendant. So when I get all of this out here, I'm going to set aside the beads to follow that tutorial so that I can do that too. We got glow sticks, y'all. That is so sweet. Ready to sparkle and glow. Tween crystals and beads will get you sparkly. Now you have something for the glow. Bend, shake, and glow. So I'm going to actually hang on to this until, I don't know if I want to do it for Memorial Day. Maybe I will wait and do it on the on 4th of July. Maybe. But look, I've got some glue sticks. Thank you, guys. That was an unexpected surprise. All right. Let me get the rest of everything out of here, and then we will see what's in here. And I'm thinking about making something with these because I had a question from my friend who asked if I had ever made any anklets. And the answer to that is no, I have not. And there's probably a few reasons for that. The first being that I have what can be described as sturdy ankles. And so whenever I would buy an anklet or something like that, it would never fit. And I forgot that now that I can make my own jewelry, that I could make my own anklets. I could make something that will fit my ankles. So I think that's what I'm going to do today is after I open this up, I am going to choose some of these beads, and they are very red, white, and blue beads. And I'm going to make an anklet with some of these and maybe some of the charms that came in here. Okay, so here's the important stuff. And it talks about how we are adopting a gemstone. This is a fun thing to read through. They've got a little booklet, Caring for Your Gemstone, a training guide for the new owner, etc., where to take your selfies of your guys and send them to the Gemstone Orphanage Facebook group so you can upload your designs there. But Homestrung Jewelry is who the Gemstone Orphanage stuff comes from. So on their YouTube channel, on Homestrung Jewelry YouTube channel, and on their website, you can look for and see if you can find these guys. And if you want to, it's one of my favorite. Look at this. This is so delightful. I am so funny because it's so it's so delightful. Elira is the name of this one. She's blue and white. She has a bail attached already, so I don't need to do any wire wrapping. Okay, and Sodalite is the artist stone. You also get some information here on this. I'm not going to read through this on here. We can maybe do that later on another day. But isn't it beautiful? This is great. I love Sodalite. That's one of my favorite bluestones. I love a lot of bluestones. And let's see what we've got in our dress up bag. Ooh, look, we've got some leather tassel-y things. These are really cool because you can just attach like a bead to this and already have earrings ready to go. This is super useful actually for making some stuff. So we've got these guys. Sorry, I know I'm not really going down the list or anything. Let me set these aside real quick and we will see if we can go through. We have 3 strands. We have some Mash and Jade in red. It is a graduated strand of beads. This is very red. Then we have a Howlite graduated rounds. Again, graduated. Beautiful. And then we've got some Sodalite graduated rounds. Wow, they have packed in a lot of gemstones into this box. That's so fantastic. So we've got 3 different graduated strands of gemstones, and there are so many on there. So many. And then we've got some lapis lazuli shaped beads. That's these guys right here. And it's a mix of them. There's about 10 of them. Let's see what different shapes we've got. We've got a couple of these tube shapes. We have a couple of coin beads in I think different sizes. We have a couple of Heishi type sizes. We've got one is that a heart shape? Yeah. We got one that is a heart shape, and these are all lapis lazuli. Then we've got a Sodalite twisted rice and faceted focal nugget. Where are these? That's these guys right here. So let's open up these. So this is our faceted focal, and here's our twisted rice Sodalite beads. I think these will definitely be part of whatever I make with my gemstone. They will go very well with that. Tons of these are dark blue. Then there's bamboo coral carved rice. They're in here. The bamboo coral and bamboo coral rounds, they're in the same bag together. So let's get these guys out. You can see these carved rice beads have the texture to them, and then we've got some rounds. It's such a great red. Then there's opalite nuggets. I think that's these guys real here, and some opalite faceted hearts. There's 2 of the faceted hearts and 3 of the opalite nuggets. I don't know if you can see the faceting on that heart. These are beautiful. They have like this goldeny glow. I think that's one of my favorite things to see and to look at, is that opalite. Then we've got some Howlite roundels, some lapis roundels, and some carnelian roundels. So, got the lapis, Howlite, and carnelian. Carnelian's kind of a little bit more of an orangey red, rather than the bright cherry red that we see with this, but they still go really, really well with the rest of these, I think. All right, and then we've got some clear AB glass stars. Where are our stars? Okay. Then we've got blue glass stars and red stars, and all of our glass stars are in the same bag together. So this blue is kind of like a Montana blue. We have this nice bright cherry red, And these stars, oh my gosh. Oh, my stars and garters. You know what? I think I might use these in my anklet. Yeah, I think I'm gonna set these aside for that. This is such a fun like celebration of everything sort of thing. I'm gonna use these stars in my anklet, so I'm gonna set these aside over here out of all of these. I might also be using some of these in it as well, because I don't know if I want something with a sharp edge like these bicones right next to my skin, especially since I tend to cross my legs a lot, and that might dig into my skin a little bit, but round beads would probably be very nice with that. So let's get to that in just a little bit. So we've got some crystal abacus beads. So the abacus beads are over here, I believe. We have some 6x4 millimeter and some 4x3 millimeter. They are faceted. I think, yeah, this is the right one. They are AB clear. So they are big and small on there. And then these are also crystal abacus beads. They're half plated blue on red. So they are two different sizes, just like the other one where you've got the 4x3 and the 6x5. And part of this has that blue electroplating on it, and it's just a red crystal with that finish on it. These are really cool, actually. These would go really well together, I think. That was good planning on their part. And then we've got some red, white, and blue glass rounds. And apparently there's 40 of each color of the 4 millimeter, and then 12 of each color of the, oh, these are the rounds, and then we've got pearls here. Okay, so these are the rounds that I was talking about. They are 4 millimeter, and I'm probably going to be using these for the anklet that I'm going to be making today with y'all. After this is done, I'm going to be using these charms too. We're almost done going through these. Almost, but not quite. But because we've got some pearls. We've got some 8 millimeter pearls, and we've got some 6 millimeter pearls, and these are what Steve used, I believe, in his wire wrapping tutorial. So I'm going to set these aside as well, because I want to follow his tutorial and make a little pendant. And I'll put a link to his tutorial in the description below. It's on the Homestrung Jewelry channel. You may have already seen it. I don't know. I don't know what you guys watch. And then we've got some red, white, red, clear, and blue bicones, and these are all 4 millimeter. And then an enameled heart pendant. So this is enameled, and it looks like it's got some rhinestones in it. Take it out of its bag so you can see it a little bit better. There are so many different options that you can use to make some jewelry for the patriotic holidays that are coming up. This is really great. And then again, the faux leather drops that we had. They are sparkly. I love sparkly. And then the enameled charms. Here we go. And this is these are all of our charms. Look at the butterflies And we've got one of those. How many of the butterflies do we have? 2. There's an umbrella. I love the flip-flops. That's definitely going on the anklet. A heart, another umbrella. USA. I think maybe the stars and the flip-flops and maybe the butterflies. I'm going to pick these for my anklet charms. So I can use the other charms for different things. And then there are some half tilas. We've got some red half tilas and some blue half tilas. Sorry, these are half tilas and these are quarter tilas. You can see the difference in size. Quarter tila, half tila, and these are full tila. These white ones with a white pearl finish. So we've got some 2-hole beads as well. And then there's the pearl chain, and this is a beaded chain. It's got some pearls already on it. Let's make a really great addition to maybe a multi-strand necklace or something else like that. All right. So that is this red, white, and blue explosion here. That is the firecracker. Explosion is the right word. The firecracker tween box, and it's got the dress up things that we're going to be using for this. So let me get most of these put away, and I'm going to leave out these guys and these charms, and I'm going to make myself an anklet because it is summertime, dang it. And I can make my own jewelry now, so I can make something that will fit my incredibly sturdy ankles. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to make an anklet, and I am going to use these beads and these charms and this white quartz beading wire, and I think don't know if I want to use some 2-hole beads for it or if I just want to do a single strand. I'm going to figure that out. So I'm going to set these aside here for now and put the rest of all of these things away so that we can concentrate on just what we are making. And I am going to set the pearls up here because I'm going to make some stuff along with Steve later, following his tutorial. But I wanted to open this up and take a look at it and share it with y'all before I start making things. I love graduated strands. They are just so much fun. And you know what? Just like this would be kind of amazing to have like a 3-layer necklace just like that with them exactly like this. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. We'll see. That would be fun, actually. All right. So now that those are put away, I'm going to get out the measuring tape. And don't worry, you're not going to have to see my feet. I'm going to bend over off camera and measure my ankle because it's been a long time since I needed to figure out what size my ankles are. And so I need to actually find my measuring tape first, where I just saw it like not that long ago. It was right here on my desk. And then you know what happened is I tidied up my desk. And that's when things go wonky, is when I tidy up. I should just learn my lesson and never tidy up again, because then everything will always be right where I last saw it. And I mean, everything will be a mess, but it will all be right where I last saw it. All right, I am pretty sure that it's not over there anymore. If it was, I would be able to see it. I found it. All right, so I'm going to measure my ankle. See how big around or small around, I don't know, it actually is, because it's been a while, like I said. I forgot that you can make jewelry for ankles, because every time I tried to do it before, or bought something from it before, it was too small. All right, so if I want something really, really tight around my ankle, 11 inches is what I'm going to be shooting for. If I want something that is a little bit looser, I'm going to shoot for 12 inches. So let me get a little mark right here on my channel for 12 inches. And one for 11 inches. So minimum this, but that's what I'm going to be shooting for how long this is going to be. All right. We are going to be using some of these and some of these. And I'm going to be scattering these throughout. I'm going to need some jump rings for those guys. How about these ones? Nope. Let's use these ones. These are gold, so let's go with gold. And then I will need a closure eventually. So when I get to that part, I will get to that part. Not before. I actually have... No, I am out of my gold lobster clasps. I have other lobster clasps in other parts of my stash over here, and I'll get one of those out. Actually, I've got a gold lobster clasp here. Amazing. I have all the things that I need right within my reach. Amazing. All right, now let's get out some beading wire, and I'm going to cut off about 15 inches of beading wire, because that's more than enough to make this anklet, and it will give me enough for making my crimps at the ends. But if I go ahead and cut it off, then I can start from the center and work out. All right, and this is just the soft flex wire. It is medium beading wire, 0.019. It is a 49 strand wire. It is my favorite beading wire. I'm just gonna be real honest. It is my favorite beading wire. I enjoy using it and working with it. And I'm going to probably be using some crimps, the soft flex flavor of crimp. I've got some copper ones here. They're just gonna do. They're gonna be just fine. And they are 2x2 crimp tubes. And my favorite way of crimping is using my magical crimper. So we will do that. All right. I've got one of these so that if I start stringing things and I need things to move along, I can make sure that they don't fall off the end. All right. Whew. Got all my things ready to go. Let's get these jump rings on before we do anything else. I'm going to be using some pliers for that. I've got these wide nose pliers will hold the jump ring, and then my chain nose pliers will open it, because you just swing it open like that. Put it on the charm. I just want to get these jump rings on before I start putting everything else together so that they are ready to go. because we are just jumping right into making things right now. Jumping right into it. Y'all, I'm excited. I am going to have a fun summer because I am going to be able to wear anklets. You don't even know how excited I am about this because, like, I forgot that I can make my own. It just wasn't on my radar. It was not something I was thinking about. So I'm gonna have some charms hanging off the anklet. Some summertime charms. I'm gonna put 3 on that side and then 3 on the other. Not that they need to be balanced, but I just am gonna feel better about it if we do it that way. Like, this is the perfect summertime anklet color palette to work with for me, I think. Because you know what? I could wear this if I go and do anything for Memorial Day. I might go over to my sister-in-law's house because she likes to do barbecue and they've got a pool and it's really nice to relax with them and hang out. My son likes to see his cousins when we're over there. We might do that. Depends on how the week goes. My fingers are crossed. My fingers are crossed. All right, so I'm going to be needing to, let's see, how many of these do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, okay. And then we've got 5 of each of these actually. So maybe we do 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. All right, now are the stars going to be right next to each other though? Maybe they will be. And we'll have one of these in between our stars. Actually, yeah, here we go. Let's do it this way. Already it's coming together. All right, so let's do a red, white, and blue rounds. And then, all right, red, white, blue. This guy isn't going to take up that much space, but we want to make sure that this is going to be able to fit, or it won't be like too many things, because then we'll need to take some of it off. So let's do another red, white, and blue right behind that one, like that. One of these guys, and maybe another red, white, and blue. Is that how this is going? And then the stars. Then red, white, and blue. And then a little firecracker explosion. And then red, white, and blue. All So if you're not familiar with US holidays, these patriotic holidays are kind of, we have our Independence Day, which is going to be in July, but we have Memorial Day coming up. And the purpose for Memorial Day is to honor people who fell in battles, people who fought in a war and died. We have Veterans Day to honor people who fought in wars, whether they lived or died. They are veterans, but we have Memorial Day specifically for the fallen soldiers. And so that is what is being remembered and, maybe not celebrated as much as all of that for tomorrow, or no, not tomorrow, Monday, this coming Monday. Y'all, I think this might actually be a really perfect design. So a lot of times people forget what it's for. They're just like, oh, that's when we go and have barbecues. That's when we have a day off to go shopping, because there's usually Memorial Day sales and that sort of thing. But it's got a purpose. It's got a real thing. My dad used to be part of the Sons of Union Veterans. He's passed away since then, so that's why I say used to be. And they would always dress up and go to one of the local cemeteries and do like a 21 gun salute with like muskets that you have to like reload and do that way. And I think actually this is going to be perfect. So I used to get up when I lived with him. We'd get up in the morning on Memorial Day and go to the cemetery and go listen to some gunfire. And the fun thing about muskets is like they have to reload between each shot. So like we were there for a while, but we'd also go through and, clean up some of the graves, put some flowers out there, maybe some flags, and that sort of thing, just so people would know that people are being remembered and that they're being honored. And that was just, something that we used to do on Memorial Day. And I forgot that I wanted a group of these small beads between these beads and that'll just extend it exactly to 12 inches. So now that we've got that, I'm going to pop this on the end of this wire so that it doesn't come loose, and that way if I mess up I can take stuff off this end or the other end. And I'm just going to go along from this end to the other and put these beads on. So we're going to do that. If you guys have Memorial Day off, what are your plans? What kind of things are you going to be doing with your family? Or if you have family members who passed because they fought in a war, how are you going to be remembering them? I am interested to know and to learn about you. Let me know, because it's something that, this bead has a little chunk taken out of it, and that's fine because I have plenty more beads that I can put on here instead. I am probably going to be creating some content that day as well, since I will not be working. I'll have a little more time and a little more ability to sit down and relax with my beads. Look at that. That looks so good already. And now we've got our stars. They will be the stars of this shoe. These stars are just going to go bloop, bloop, bloop right up between each other. This is fantastic. I am so glad, Sandy, that you asked about anklets, because otherwise I would not have been inspired to create this. And I'm so glad that we've got such a summertimey palette of colors to be able that, because these colors always say summertime to me, because these holidays occur during the summer holidays. They occur during the summertime. Um, I just want to make sure that when all of these charms are on, that they'll be facing the same way. I would hate to get this on and have like my flip-flops facing towards my ankles instead of away from my ankles, so nobody knows that that's supposed to be a flip-flop and they're just looking at it like, oh, what is that? Yeah, not that people look at my ankles very much anyway, but maybe if I'm wearing a really cool anklet, they will. But yeah, sturdy ankles. That's what I have. I have the kind of ankles that were inherited from people who had to wander across the plains, or who had to herd cattle in the Highlands in Scotland, or, you know, things like that. Like, I have very my children will survive any winter kind of ankles, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because many times I have done or stepped off the curb a certain way and should have by all rights broken my ankles and just suffered a strain that went away after a couple of days of rest instead of having something that would take like 6 weeks to heal. So, you know, having sturdy ankles means that my inherent clumsiness wasn't super detrimental to my ability to do things, which I think is probably the main reason why I inherited them. If that makes any sense whatsoever. But yeah, they sturdy. It's hard for me sometimes to get the bead onto the wire if I do it while the bead is in the channel, so I have to take it out of the channel. But it's super useful when I want to see how long my project is and make sure that it's a certain length. And I've got different marks for different things here. Like, this is the minimum length for a bracelet. This is kind of like the longest length for it. And now I've got my little spots over here for my anklets. So I may be making more of these. We will see. We will see how I fare with this one. But yeah, I always wanted to be an anklet gal. That wasn't my life. That was not the life I was living. Maybe now I can fulfill all of my anklet girl dreams. It is almost all strung. Look at this. It is so celebratory. All of the stars, all of these colors. Just take a look at that. I love that. This is perfect. But yeah, this specific tween box has it. It was real close to selling out when I finally got around to purchasing one, so it's most likely sold out now still. But you can check on the Homestrung Jewelry website. If you're not a subscriber, maybe subscribe, because this is not the only box that you get all of these beads in. If you've seen any of my other unboxings, the Gemstone Orphanage boxes are fantastic, and the gemstones are beautiful. And before I do anything, I'm just going to hold on to both ends of this and wrap it around my ankle and see how I feel about it. So give me just a sec. Oh, come here, ankle. Hello, friend. It's been a while. Oh, you guys, it's gonna fit. It's gonna absolutely fit around my ankle. I'm so excited about that. Don't worry, I'm not gonna show you my feet because, you know, I've got a rule about feet on the internet. It just does not happen. And I don't think I should have to explain that to you. No feet on the internet. But we are definitely making an anklet. And do I have them all facing the same way? I do. All right. So that nothing falls off while I am crimping this end, I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. And put a crimp through my wire. Put my lobster clasp on here. Let's make sure it works first before we put it on. Yes, perfect. It is functional. Bend my wire back. And will this wire go through that bead a couple times? It will. All right, perfect. That means that I can, let's have it go through that blue one, just for those 3 beads. The 3 beads there. That way I can have a little bit of the end of the wire will be covered by those, and that just means that I won't have the end of the wire poking into my skin. This is not the tool to crimp with. I am just going to tell you that right now. Word of warning, do not crimp with the wire cutters because they are not good at crimping. This is a much better tool for crimping. It is the Magical Crimper. It is my favorite way to do crimps because I don't have to use a crimp cover on these. Then it has this little concavity in here. Let's scooch up a little bit. And so if I center a 2x2 crimp tube right in that concavity, give it a little smush, it smushes down those corners. And then if I turn it and smush it from a different angle, and then turn it and smush it from a different angle, and just keep doing that. Just smush it from different angles. All those sharp corners, they get smoothed out and it turns into this round ball of crimp that is smooth and won't rub against your skin while you are wearing it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my excess wire. Yes, that was the excess wire. For a minute there, I did not double check before I cut that. All right. And now I'm going to want to crimp. I'm going to do exactly the same thing on this side. And I think I'm going to make myself a little bit of an extender chain just in case bloating happens. Sometimes my ankles get big when, you know, I'm dehydrated or something like that happens. So I'm just going to make sure that these are closed all the way. Oh, this one's not closed all the way, so let's close it. You can see there, it's a little offset. So I'm just going to close it up a little bit more. There we go. And this way, with these 3 that are completely closed, I can join them together using another jump ring. And this is just a really easy way to make a little chain with your jump rings. I'm going to take 2 of these ones that I closed already, like that, and I'm going to put them both on this open jump ring, and then close that and make sure that it is completely closed. It's not completely closed yet. Just giving that a little smush. Perfect. So there's 3 links in a chain. Grab 1 more of these. I think 5 should do. 5 should be enough. Then I'm going to open this one. And I'm going to put one end of that little 3-link chain on that link. And one of these ones that I closed before on there. Make sure it's closed all the way. And now I have 5 links in a little chain. Super easy to do. That way I can either do it tighter or looser depending on how I'm feeling that day, where I am in dealing with things in life and everything. So now I can crimp this onto here. And because they're jump rings, I could just make a loop and then attach it later, but I'm going to go ahead and go through that last link in this chain with my beading wire so I don't have to mess with that. And then go back through my crimp tube with my beading wire. Oof. Sometimes these copper crimp tubes are a little on the tight side, and there's nothing wrong with that. It just means that it takes a little extra finger finessing to get both ends of the wire through. Just for these glass beads, I want 3 of these beads on double wire duty so that I can pull this down. Ooh, it's very tight. There we go. And I want to be able to get this crimp centered. So I'm just going to stick my fingernail between that crimp and that bead to make a little bit of space so that there's enough space for the edge of my crimper. There's my first crimp, and then we rotate. And these are sticking to the magical crimper because it is magnetic. So I'm just gonna turn it, try to avoid this part of it. Okay, and now I've got my little ball of crimp. I can cut my excess wire. And now I have an anklet, my first anklet, that is going to actually fit on my ankle. And it is a summertime celebration anklet that I made with the, was it Firecracker or Fireworks? Hold on. It's on here. Firecracker, the Firecracker Tween box from Gemstone Orphanage. So I made this. I'm going to also use some of these pearls and make the pendant and earrings that Steve just posted. And then I am going to start planning a necklace using the gemstone that I got and the other beads that we got in this tween box. I will have links in the description below if you want to check out Gemstone Orphanage, if you want to check out Homestrung Jewelry's YouTube channel, where they have a lot of tutorials, and they also do some previews on their channel of some of the things that they have available. That's how I found out about this, was their preview of it. And so it's a good idea to subscribe to their channel so that you can be notified when they come up with something like this. Or just go ahead and sign up for their what is it called? Newsletter that they do. Their mailing list. Anyway, I hope you all have a safe and happy weekend, and I will talk with you later. Bye.